What does resilience mean to you? Or maybe I should say, what does organizational resilience mean to you? It's quite complex in some ways. Most organizations use resilience as a title, but maybe don't go any further than emergency planning, business continuity. Some organizations are now starting to think about the concept of operational resilience, which obviously focuses on that definition that is within regulatory standards. What is it that you need from a critical business activity, important business service perspective to keep your business running? But organizational resilience is much wider than that. Certainly to my belief, in my mind, it's everything that you need to keep an organization running. It's an umbrella term. It's as much about your cybersecurity and cyber resilience processes, your organizational culture, continuous improvement, risk management, as it is about business continuity and operational priorities and resilience. How many organizations think about it in that widest sense? A lot of the organizations that I encounter have redesigned their functions. They've renamed their functions, and it's all about resilience. But when you ask the question, they're not looking at this in the widest sense. And a lot of organizations, because of the way they're designed, the functions that we might expect to support that pillar of organizational resilience are different parts of the organization, don't talk to each other, don't work together. So what does this mean long term? To me, the biggest question is, how do we get the conversation started about working together? We talk a lot about silos, or I talk a lot about silos when I talk to clients. Silos are where resilience breaks down. When organizations have silos where people don't work together, where there is that lack of integration, lack of collaboration, that's where things go wrong. Things get missed. Processes aren't connected. And the concept of important business services or critical business services, depending on which industry you're in, is about connecting those dots. It's about recognizing we all need to work together to protect the organization. And that to me is ultimately what we're talking about here. What we want to make sure is happening is that the organization is protected, that all of these disciplines that have a role in identifying the risks that we need to mitigate, in identifying the strategies that we need to implement, whether it's our cyber insurance or cyber security policies, it's our disaster recovery approach, service resilience. It's about what we do to continue those critical activities. All of these different elements need to be working together, need to be aligned. And that's where I've seen it work really well, alongside the implementation of a culture of continuous improvement. Organizations that are challenging themselves all the time to make themselves better, to manage these events, to minimize the disruption, are the ones that are succeeding in this kind of approach. They're the ones that are truly achieving organizational resilience. What do you think? Do you think we're trying too hard to create a new discipline? Do you think that organizational resilience can be achieved without bringing all these different elements together? How does your organization structure itself? And how are you working to achieve that concept of organization? Or do you think organizational resilience isn't how we should be working? It isn't the aim that we should be focused on. I really would like to hear people's views on this. I have my own view, which I've shared, but it'd be great to hear how other individuals are dealing with this challenge.